Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. And today we have a special guest replay provided to us by our good friend Sibs here in the Tier 10 French Tech Tree Light Wheelie Boy light tank, the EBR 105. Now, I'm glad Sibs provided me this replay. That is because, to be honest, I've not got a replay feature in the EBR 105 on the channel. And that is because, I'll be quite frank, I don't enjoy playing the French Wheelie Boy light tanks. They're just not really for me, but you know, some people love playing them. And thankfully, Sibs has got a replay to show me off today here on Ellenberg, on the first one where he has drove into a house. Now, I'm not going to question that because you've all seen my driving, and to be honest with you, it's far worse. But he's got off to a start where he's managed to spot a couple of tanks on the cross on the 8-9 line, and he's just trying to play the active scout role which this tank plays. You know, you're essentially, you're not really a passive light tank, you know, in the Wheelie Boy. You're driving around a lot of the time like a nutcase, you know, trying to make it difficult for an enemy team to shoot you, while just trying to keep as many spotted as possible. And he's done that so far, and he's starting to pick up a little bit of assistance now by spotting these tanks which are crossing. The enemy Carnarvon there, he should be able to get an easy shot in, but now he needs to get out of dodge as quickly as possible. Obviously, the tank, when you're sort of at low speeds, is a lot, you know, less responsive to turn, but when you get up to that top speed, which I think has got a top speed of about 70 kilometers an hour standard, you can start to turn a lot quicker to sort of dodge those shells. So initially he's got about 1,000 assistance, picked up 1 damage of shots there, and he's just trying to keep these tanks spotted. But he's also noticed that there's not really that much come down the 7-9 line on this side, and it means there's probably tanks pushing up potentially the other side, or they could all be camping in the base because, let's be frank, it's Ellenberg. But he wants to come back and try and scout this side to give vision to his friendly team here, because there was 2 enemy light tanks and 2 friendly light tanks. One of his friendly light tanks is destroyed, so he's now the main vision tank for his team. And he's going to try and spot this cap. If anything crosses here, he wants to be able to keep it detected and get spotted early, so his friendly tanks on the hill have an opportunity to shoot them. So he spots an enemy T-49 here. Now his team on the hill should have shots, so hopefully if his tank tries to poke up, they'll be able to shoot him. Unfortunately, he's now getting full sent by an enemy light tank, TL100. He does put him onto a one-shot though, which is good. Hopefully he can finish his tank off as quickly as he possibly can. Unfortunately, misses that shot, but so is the A100, missing a few shots as well. Should have the kill on him here, and unfortunately, you know, just the nature of the Wheelie Boy, it's a little bit awkward sometimes. He ends up eating another shot, which is kind of far from ideal because he's got 2 light tanks trying to shoot him now, and he really wants to kill this tank as quick as he can. The TR100 ends up ramming the E100, but you know, at least he's got that tank out of the game now, and he's picked up his first kill of the game. And you can see he's spotted quite a few of these tanks here, so he's just going to try and essentially keep these tanks spotted for as long as he possibly can. Got to bear in mind, when you do peak this ridge line, you know, there's tanks at the back which can shoot him, so you've got to be very, very careful not to expose yourself for too long. He does manage to snap a shot into the enemy TD in the back, picking up his 5th penetration of the game. And he's starting to pick up the rewards, those spottings there. You know, got up to about 2,000 assistance. His friendly team are losing this game at the moment, 9-11. It is a very close game. But like I say, thankfully his friendly team are doing a good job of shooting the targets which he is spotting here. And he's picking up the rewards for that. I think both of the enemy light tanks have now been destroyed. Unfortunately, he eats a shot there which puts him onto a potential one-shot to probably most of the tanks left in this game, which is not ideal, but he does manage to pick up a 3rd kill, confirming that kill there, and putting him on to about just shy of 3,000 damage and 3,500 assistance. Now, another thing about the EBR, it does actually have kind of terrible penetration. You've got 190 penetration on your standard APCR rounds, which really isn't very good for a tier 10 tank, and then it's got 240 penetration on your heat rounds for your premium, which again, not good penetration. Although it is a light tank, so quite often you're going to be able to get around the side and shoot the weaker part of the armour, it's still not great, you know. So he's brought this game back. His team have now got the lead. It's an 8 versus 6, and it's getting to that later stage of the game when you can sort of get past the beginning onslaught, if you like. But being a light tank, you start to become a lot more powerful on a map like this when you get more space to open up. Because you do have decent concealment in the tank. You know, it is a light tank, and he can hopefully try and abuse, you know, his concealment, his view range to outspot the enemy tanks where he can. And you just try and pick up some assistance. It's got a lot more flexibility now. So now he knows the base is defended. He's going to go back and see if he can spot the other side, see if he can see if any more tanks are coming. And he also might actually be able to squeeze a few shots on these tanks in the middle. You know, there's 6 enemy tanks remaining. He knows 2 are in the middle. He knows 1 is spotted at the F7. He knows the other one is an artillery, so it's going to be in the base. So there's really only probably 1 tank, you know, really doesn't know where it is at this point, or maybe 2 tanks, maybe the 2 TDs. Other than that, he knows where the remaining of the tanks are. So he's going to just see what ground now, see if he can try, and he tried to get a few shots into enemy tanks in the middle, and now he's going to try and extend the view range because his friendly TD is pushed up at the H5 spot. So if he can push forward now and spot some of the tanks on the ridge which can potentially be camping in the enemy base, he might be able to pick up some more assistance here because it is still a very close game. You can see 7 versus 6. They're actually losing on the hit point pool though. So the enemy team do have more hit points, and obviously, you know, Sibs himself is a one-shot at this point. So he managed to spot an enemy heavy, I think a tier 8 T32, or I believe, or over in the side here. He's going to try and finish off his one-shot heavy if he can, no, but that gets shut down by his friendly 704. And so now he's spotted an enemy heavy over there, which he can try and see if he can work any shots in. Just got to be careful that, you know, the second he gets spotted here, there is tanks on the ridge which can potentially shoot him. He doesn't really know where the enemy TD is at this point. Also, got to be careful of the enemy fun police. But well, he's, you know, got off to a decent start. 4,000 damage, 3,000 assistance with 3 kills, and there's still a lot of potential available to him in this game. So he is being careful, doesn't want to throw the game away. He's just trying to find a safe spot to see if he can kill this enemy heavy who is now a one-shot, and then maybe he'll get the freedom to go and potentially either kill the artillery or try and, you know, find the other enemy TDs. He does spot the enemy Jag Tiger there, who is on full health. He is a definite one-shot, Sibs is, to that Jag Tiger. But if he can keep this Jag Tiger detected, you know, he still has his friendly artillery in the game. There's a good chance he will start to pick up assistance because Jag Tiger is not a particularly fast tank and not a particularly difficult tank when it does get spotted in the open, so he gets shot at by the artillery. Now his friendly Rogo Dawn has killed the enemy heavy tank which was advancing on the other side on the 8-9 line. So far, you know, according to the mini map, it looks like the base is fairly secure, and he's going to see if he can get any shots into this Jag Tiger. He does need to try and aim it because, as I say, he doesn't have the best penetration. Unfortunately, he loses his spot just at the wrong time here. And again, he might be able to get a shot into lower plate, but at this point he's got to be careful. If he gets spotted, the Jag Tiger can just snap a shot in. The enemy team have brought this game back now to a 3 versus 3, and they do have the advantage again on the hit point pool. And it kind of looks like that Jag Tiger is going to start coming this way. So rather than engage him where he gets spotted and he's going to potentially get shot at by the enemy artillery or the other enemy TD, which we don't know exactly where it is at the moment, he's just going to pull back a little bit. You know, he's just going to wait and see if that enemy TD, enemy Jag Tiger, starts to come this way. Because if he can spot him whilst he's in the open, then he's going to get a lot easier chance for assistance and damage. He does do exactly that, and it does kind of look like the Jag Tiger is making its advance towards the friendly base. So he's pulling back here, knowing that he's got got assistance by the artillery. He's going to have good shots, and he's starting to pick up the assistance for that. You know, the friendly artillery has nothing else to shoot at. Nothing else is spotted. So he knows he's going to, if he can keep this tank spotted for as long as possible, he is going to be able to pick up the assistance. So he's got into a situation where if he gets an opportunity, he can shoot the Jag Tiger now, because then he's able to move back into cover behind this building. He does do that. He does get spotted. Unfortunately, doesn't pen the Jag Tiger, and the enemy fun police, aka the artillery, is looking to shoot at his direction. So he needs to lose his spot, which he does. His other friendly heavy tank has now been destroyed, so we know there is a tank probably coming down potentially down the 6-9 line. But we need to try and deal with the immediate threat of this Jagdtiger here. Puts a nice shot in, puts him into the 1. Another shot comes that way, which I'm guessing was from probably the other enemy TD, maybe covering this tank. And he's just going to try and lose his spot so he can then finish off the one-shot Jagdtiger and then go on to try and get some more damage out of this game. He's now on 5,000 assistance. So yeah, we're just shy, I should say, 5,000 assistance. We're just shy of 4,000 damage, confirming the 5th kill of the game. And he's going to try and hunt this other enemy TD down, and then he can try and go after the artillery as well. The HE rounds, he's got those loaded at the moment. I think that's because the other enemy TD is in fact an Iron Rain. So he can easily pen it with the HE, because the Iron Rain only has, it's basically a Borsig armour, so it's got no armour on the turret. And you've got 75 penetration on the HE rounds. So you do have good penetration for HE, and that would give you a 500 alpha per shot if you do penetrate the HE shells. So he's going to go and try and find this Iron Rain, find the artillery, try and deal with those tanks. So the Iron Rain is an incredibly slow vehicle, so it doesn't really matter if he starts to head towards the base and get into cap circle, because he'll have more than enough time to get back. So he might as well try and hunt the little piggy which was shooting at him earlier, try and deal with his fun police, and then he doesn't have to worry about getting shot from the sky, and it'd be a lot easier for him to deal with the enemy Iron Rain at that point. So far he hasn't spotted the enemy Iron Rain or the artillery. He does now spot the enemy artillery. He's got the HE, like I say, loaded, 75 penetration. You can pen the T92. You do need to make sure you shoot the correct spot though. You also got to be careful, because he's only on 300 hit points, so if this T92 splashes near him, he's probably going to be able to take him out. So he's got to be careful. Unfortunately, T92 is coming straight this way and is looking, so he's going to try and get out of dodge here. Thankfully, the T92 shoots and fires and misses. That is going to give him the opportunity to try and get some shots in now. Can probably get behind him, maybe go for the drive wheel shots and stop him turning. So unfortunately, that shot doesn't pen. He hopefully, he's got the rear of him now, should be able to pen this and put him onto probably maybe a 2-shot to him here, because he's run out of the HE rounds. He goes behind him here, and he's got to be careful, because he is getting rammed and he gets pushed into the water here, almost throwing this tank away. Thankfully, it's okay. It gets back to safety and he's able to kill the fun police. I think that was probably a little sketchy moment there. Panic stations were probably kicking in, but he does get the kill and he picks up his 6th kill of the game. He was already a 1-shot to the Iron Rain, so losing that little bit of extra hit points honestly makes no difference, because he's already a 1-shot to the Iron Rain to begin with. So thankfully for him, the enemy Iron Rain has got in the cap circle. He's killed the friendly artillery, but he knows exactly where he is now, right? He's in the cap circle. He's got 1 minute 15 seconds to find him. Probably the ideal scenario, to be honest, for the Iron Rain getting in the cap circle. It's going to make his life, at least he knows where he's got to go, and he's not going to be chasing around the map trying to hunt this tank down. If he can get this kill, he's going to be on for the Devastator medal. But like I say, the Iron Rain does have good concealment. Now he spots him, he's in the open, but so is Sibs, and he's got to do what EBRs do, and dodge, turn, zigzag, trying to just get out of dodge. Iron Rain shot 1, it's a 3-shot autoloader. He's got 2 more chances, misses a 2nd shot, and then Sibs managed to just snap that shot in to confirm the victory at the end. Bringing up to 7 kills now, and having a really decent game with about 5,000 assistance and 6,000 damage. Like I said, I've linked Sibs' channel to the description of my video, so please make sure you give him a like and subscribe. He does full commentary on his videos, and yeah, he's an up and coming, good channel to watch. Definitely recommend. So yeah, feel free to go and check out his channel. Thank you for providing the replay, Sibs, and as always, thanks for your amazing support, and happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!